True denial to quit porn. I'm Dr. Trish Leigh, cognitive neuroscientist and sex addiction recovery coach. I'm here to help you understand that you can actually use denial to help you get and stay out of the screen and get on purpose in your life. Now, this one's pretty deep, so stay with me. In this video, we are going to talk about the denial you're in right now, which I will call false denial. Denial that you are stuck in that keeps you going back for more and more and more into the screen. And you know what I think? The hijackers hijacked your brain and is keeping you in false denial. But then we're going to talk about number 2, true denial. When you kind of wake up to this stuff and you can see it for what it is, you will be impacted so much that you will be able to come out of the screen and stay out of it forever. And then number 3 is how you can maintain true denial for the rest of your life. It's your brain tip strategy for the day. So let's break it down. What do I mean by this denial mumbo jumbo, right? Okay, so denial, when it's the false denial, the denial that most people in the world live in, basically what you're doing is you're denying your true, authentic self, the one that's in there who wants to come out and thrive. You're denying him from coming out. You're keeping him tucked away. And there's 3 main reasons we tuck away our true authentic self and we try to forget about him or her. Number 1 is trauma. And literally you can have your true authentic self beaten right out of you, and many people do. Number 2 is dysfunction. So it might not be as dramatic as being beaten out of, but it's being scared out of. So you're taught the way to interact with the world that makes you feel as safe as possible. It's not the way you would have if you didn't have to claw for safety and security and for seeming love at a young age. And lastly is programming. Many of us are just programmed to be more scared or more anxious or cynical or to not need love, because when we talk about all this stuff, it's multi-generational. It comes from your parents who learned it from their parents who learned it from their parents. And you go back a generation or 2 and there was so much less love in the world in terms of, most families, and that's being carried down. So the way out is to break the pattern. I'm going to show you how in just a second. But false denial is, not needing that part of yourself that's in there and trying to tuck it away. And unfortunately, what you do is you're dousing your spark, that true spark that's in there. Now, instead, what you do is you look externally into the world for something that can make you feel okay. So the true, authentic self, the joy, the spark, the love, the peace, it looks to the world and goes, okay, what can I get that makes me feel okay? And it becomes an eternal loop of pleasure seeking. And pleasure seeking can never actually be fulfilled. And we know if you've developed a porn habit, your brain is dependent upon, or it's counting on, the dopamine that it gets from consuming porn. That dopamine makes your brain feel good for a time. It's the pleasure seeking neurotransmitter. It makes your brain feel good when you're in the screen. It makes your brain feel bad when you're not in the screen, which makes you seek more pleasure in the screen. It's completely external. So it becomes very externalized and it makes you feel like you're lacking. We know that when people develop a porn habit, it creates a shame cycle. It makes you feel shame. It makes you feel bad on the inside. It makes you feel less than. It makes you feel like you need something to complete you. And what you've learned and what you've taught your brain over time is that the screen is the thing that complete you, for a time at least. So you go back into the screen so that you can get that external hit of the validation that you actually want from internalized joy and peace and just being and feeling good about that. And so your self-worth decreases and you need to go into the screen to feel better about it. It's projection of scarcity. Hopefully you're with me on this. I know it's complex, but it's true for most people. So the validation becomes externalized from pleasure seeking in the world. And that can be if you've developed hypersexuality, it all revolves around sex. So it might be being with different partners. It might be having people dote over you. It's definitely involving the screen. That is false denial. You're actually denying yourself, your true authentic self, that kiddo in there at the age of 3 or 4 who had this spark in them, that the spark went out and this false spark was created in porn and sex. Now, here's number 2. How do you get back to that true self? Well, you get true denial going on. And true denial is when you deny the stuff of the world that you've linked your brain to, and you say, you know what? I don't need that stuff anymore. And the reason you don't need the things from the world is because you've actually taken action steps to reinvigorate that true authentic self inside and become the person that you want to be. That's why I always say get on purpose in your work, get on purpose in your relationships, and get on purpose in your hobbies, because it feeds you from the inside out and you don't need other people to validate you. And this is going to be pivotal for when you maintain true denial in a second, which is your brain tip. But so if you can get to a place where you remember what your spark is, what did you love to do as a kid? Write them down and start doing them. What did you always want to do as a kid? Follow those impulses and those intuitions. They will lead you towards the true self that's in there, and you can deny the errors of your way. Now, getting sucked into a porn habit or hypersexualization, webcam sex, prostitutes, affairs, those are errors of your way. Nobody wants to be in that truthfully. You're in that because you're looking for the love that you wish you had from the inside. We know that. That's why people go to the screen. Control, love, whatever thing, that basic fear and that basic desire that drives them into it. When you give yourself your basic desire and you let your basic fear thaw away, you can be your true self. So what happens is now you have an attitude and a feeling of abundance. You feel whole. Your self-worth goes up. You're no longer projecting scarcity. Instead, you're allowing yourself to create, to be able to do the thing that you were meant to do in this world. You were born into this world for something special. We all were. And so when you figure out what that special thing is and you do it, it lights you up. Your spark is sparkified again. I know it's probably not a word, but you will be sparky. You will feel so good from the inside. And now you exude and extend abundance, and you create and you help heal yourself through your creations. And then it creates the ripple effect that helps to heal the world and helps everybody else to get on purpose and to create. That's what I've been trying to do in my life. That's why when this porn thing landed in my lap, I had to sit back for a minute and go, porn? This is where I'm going right now, for real? But you know what? Spark was in there, and I feel like I've been preparing my whole life to help people leave porn behind, even though I didn't know it. All of my training has led me here to be the perfect person to lead this crusade. And when it landed in my lap, painfully, honestly, I'm like, you know what? I'm here for it, because this is the spark. I'm feeling sparkified about this. And so I heal myself and I help, hopefully I'm helping you to heal yourself. And then it extends out and we can all help each other heal. And when we help each other, we continue to heal ourselves. It's not giving away, it's giving to receive. And when you're on purpose as your true authentic self, that is what you get. That's internalized. It becomes an internal experience of peace, joy, love, extension. So I want you to deny that false self of yours, the ego, as we call it, that's gotten into the habit of pleasure seeking to douse the pain of not being your true self. We know that when people get sucked into a pleasure seeking habit, porn, sex, or anything else, it results in pain. It's the A-B cycle. It's the pleasure pain paradox. It results in pain. When you find your true authentic self, even if nobody else in the world likes it, it results in internal peace. And there's a huge difference. And I want that for you. You deserve that. And I want you to have it because it's amazing and you're going to love it. Now, once you are able to do that, leave the errors behind, come out of a shame cycle, figure out that thing you want to create, get on purpose and do it, you can maintain your true denial. Now, this is number 3, your brain tip strategy, and this is how it works. And it's not a perfect process if you're in the human condition like I am, but this is how it works, is that you might get sucked back into some of your old programming. Again, that was a protective mechanism back in the day, but you've healed yourself, you've created a life you love, but some of that programming will creep in. And what will happen is you might get sucked back into illusion or unreality. So some of the fear and the anxiety that you might have had that might push you back into the screen, you feel it on the inside. You're like, yikes, what the heck is that? That's fear. I'm feeling anxious. I'm worried about money, which is an external thing. I'm worried about girlfriend. That's an external thing. You're allowing other people's errors or your own errors or illusions to rock the boat of your true self and your true peace. Now, here's the cool thing. You might ebb and flow between, having your boat rock, getting sucked back into the human condition, going external, looking for external validation. But then you might go, you know what? I'm not going to let my girlfriend disrupt my peace with her unhealthy behaviors or whatever we've got going on. I'm going to stay in peace. And if I stay in peace, it extends out from me and I can solve the things that are happening. If you stay in peace, you extend it out. If you go back into errors, you project the fear and scarcity. It's how it works. So you'll ebb and flow, and I do too. I'm not a perfect person at all. But what then happens is you can see the things coming toward you and you learn your threshold, and you can see an illusion or an error of somebody else's or of your own. And then you're like, oh, I'm sucked into external stuff. I'm going to pump the brakes on that and I'm going to get back to peace. And I've shared with you that happened to me when summer moved to fall, and my schedule was really busy in the summer because my kids were all gone doing things. And then school hits and now I've got a lot more momming to do. Yes, I verbed momming. I had a lot more momming to do, and I'm like, yikes, I had all these appointments, and it really disrupted my internal peace because of my external need to work and to mom and to help other people. And, I was doing too much externally, so I had to change my schedule, get back to a place of peace, and now I can go back to expanding and abundance and helping other people to heal each other. I can be a good mom, I can be a good worker, or, I can be on purpose in my creations just like you can. So I ebb and flow between that, but now I can see it coming at me most of the time. And if I can't, it's only a little bit of time before I can bring myself back. That's how you maintain the denial of getting sucked back into that, through your foundation of being your true authentic self. Okay, I hope that helps you out. Dare to be the person that you want to be. You only go around this marble in the sky one time, so you might as well embrace it for all it's worth. Get out of the screen because you're wasting your potential. Get on purpose in your life. Figure out what you want to do. It doesn't matter if other people like it. It matters if you like it. If you want to be a plumber, go be the kick-ass plumber of the world. If you want to heal the world from porn, whether the world wants it or not, join me in the crusade. That is what sparkifies you. Follow it. Dare to follow it. Have the courage. Look the fear in the eye and rock out your best life, because you only have one time around. Okay, if you're looking for help on the journey, reach out to me, drtrishleigh.com. I'd be happy to help you. And if not, until next time, control your brain or it'll control you.